by Stephen Marrocco, July 2, 2019, 4:15 p.m. Felicia Spencer's parents sound a lot like coaches on the topic of Cris Cyborg. By Spencer's telling, all the protective behavior you'd attribute to a mother and father is replaced by the kind of pre-fight cliches you hear from a fighter's team before a big fight. Of course, Cyborg is a legend in the sport, and they're very understanding of that, Spencer told MMA Junkie. But at the same time, they see certain things that I see, that she's just a human being. She's got the best nickname in the sport, but she's not actually a cyborg, she's just a human. They've been following this sport and my division for roughly since I've been in it. They're very excited for my opportunity here. They know what I'm capable of and what I bring to the table. They know that I can rise to any occasion. Spencer was at her parents' house when she got the potentially life-altering text message that she'd be fighting Cyborg at UFC 240 on July 27 at Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta. When she told her team at Jungle MMA about the fight, the same celebration greeted her. A win over Cyborg could complete Spencer's transformation from a little-known prospect to one of the baddest women on the planet in 4 years. A loss could relegate her to a long list of opponents who thought they could withstand the Brazilian's aggression and quickly found themselves overwhelmed. Everyone around Spencer is buzzing about her chances. "This is kind of my moment to shock the world and shine," Spencer said. "I and my team know something about me that the rest of the world doesn't know yet, and I'm going to show the world." On July 27, this isn't an opinion that was formed after Cyborg fell to Amanda Nunes' punches 7 months ago, Spencer added. Although Cyborg's air of invincibility was shattered forever with a first-round knockout, Spencer always believed she could give the fearsome ex-champ a good fight. "A lot of what she brought was her aggression, or her pace, just being able to overwhelm people," she said. "I've always had an idea in my head that if I can reach the top of the division before she leaves it, how awesome would be to have that win on my record." Spencer doesn't draw too many conclusions from the Nunes fight. She sees a fighter who, until that moment, was going the opposite direction of a brawling bulldozer who chewed out and spit up opponents. "I feel like she was evolving to be a smarter fighter and taking less risk, and she got carried away with Amanda coming at her like that," Spencer said. And whether Cyborg returns to that form, or throws it all out the window and just comes charging, Spencer will be ready. "I can grind just as hard as anybody," she said. Spencer has been surprised by the public's assessment of her chances. Usually when you fight Cyborg, you also fight her loyal fans on social media who declare you the walking dead. But Spencer said a vocal contingent has told the world not to sleep on her. That warning was undoubtedly informed by a head-turning performance in Spencer's Octagon debut, a meeting with Megan Anderson, who held the Invicta FC featherweight belt she won after Anderson went to the UFC. Spencer showed a veteran's poison, taking out the long and lanky Anderson via first-round submission. It turned out to be the audition reel for her fight with Cyborg, who read a subsequent headline about her welcoming a showdown and accepted. Now, Spencer is making the most of a training camp that could change her life. The women's featherweight division is in flux, with two-division champ Nunes set to defend her bantamweight title against Holly Holm at UFC 239. Cyborg's meeting with Spencer is the last on her current contract. A proposed rematch with Nunes appears to be on the ropes, with Cyborg angry with her promoter over a new contract. Spencer could cut through all that if she shocks the world. "I would imagine, yeah," she said when asked if a win would set up a title shot. "I really feel like a lot of the featherweight division is going to ride on what happens in my fight and what happens with Nunes versus Holm. What, the featherweight belt is vacated before I fight? I might be fighting for a title. Spencer tries not to dwell on that. Bridge to that opportunity is one of the most dangerous ones in the sport, even considering her opponent's most recent performance. Spencer has to be in top form. Everyone around her is banding together to make that happen. Spencer's whole family is fighting Cyborg, and she wouldn't have it any other way. The potential payoff is worth it. Crazy things happen in this sport, right? There's been crazier stories, but this one is pretty wild to think about, she said. For more on the UFC 240, check out the UFC rumors section of the site. Cris Cyborg, Felicia Spencer, UFC 240 News, UFC Let's Block Ads.